Thank you, Kevin Wildes.
That's very nice.
I must begin the tears with an important and somber announcement.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Our 8-person committee is down to 7. After our chairman of proprietary algorithms, Dr. Reed Geiger, admitted to the group last night in his resignation that he had not updated, as he had promised he had 18 months ago, our eliminated teams algorithm to account for the expanded NFL playoffs.
Oh.
It's a minor miracle that last year this did not bite the committee. However, last night it was undeniable. And so we do have an opening on the committee. If you have a PhD in probability and statistics to fill his role. But also what you will see is the eliminated group, for the first time in the committee's history, has constricted rather than expanded.
Uneliminated.
Because we had to uneliminate some teams.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
We also moved up the Texans a bit because they are frisky. Okay, now, to the actual tiers. Falso.
Wow.
Nope, not happening. You are no longer eliminated, Packers and Panthers. You are also not going to win 8 of 9 or 7 of 8 to finish your respective seasons and surge into the playoffs. Falling apart, these 4 teams have lost 10 games between them combined. They're all playing themselves out of the playoffs. With that said, chew on this one. When you see the Patriots and the Jets this offseason, Mac versus Zach. Who says no? Both quarterbacks get a change of scenery. Same draft. Think about it, America. In and out. Not just America's favorite fast food chain. Also, what's going to happen with the Giants or Washington if and when they make the playoffs. You're in, then you're out. Giants are going to be in. Washington may or may not be in. Either way, it will be very brief stays in the postseason for those 2 teams, but it will be a nice story if either one of them make it. Wildes?
Yes?
While you are not on the committee, you do know this. What is this not?
Well, it's definitely not the standings.
Not the standings.
No way.
Which is why we can have an 11-3 team on the same tier as a 6-8 team. Because the 11-3 team has been shockingly fortuitous in one-score games, and no one is afraid of them come the postseason. And the 6-8 team has simply been a bad team all year, yet absolutely will be the last team the Dallas Cowboys want to see in round 1, which is what it is looking like we are going to get. Definitely dangerous. A moment, please, while I look at the highest Trevor Lawrence has ever been on the tiers. Oh, give you a break? We will give you no such breaks. The Jags and the Lions. Woo! Not only dangerous animals in real life, dangerous football teams if they were to surge into the postseason. The Ravens if Lamar gets healthy, and Dallas because of their ability when they're at their best. To get after the opposing quarterback and to put up 40 points. They make them dangerous teams, but because of inexperience, injury, or some questionable quarterbacking, all of those teams are dangerous to themselves, except for, of course, Jacksonville. Round 3 on deck. By round 3, I mean we are going to get round 3 of what has been an exceptional regular season matchup. 2 classic games that both came down to the final moments. Both games were affected somewhat by the weather. The most recent one by Bills fans throwing snowballs at the Miami Dolphins throughout the game. The earlier one because the Bills said it was sunny or something. Regardless, these 2 teams match up great against each other. They both only have 3 losses this season in games their quarterback starts and finishes. And by the way, it also is a game I think we're going to get, as the Dolphins are the likely 7 seed and the Bills are the likely 2 seed. Long season. The Los Angeles Chargers started this season as a potential dark horse Super Bowl pick. Then they were written off. Then they were like, oh, are they still alive? Now, once again, back to being a dark horse Super Bowl pick. This team, if they get Bosa and Derwin James back, they already got their receivers back, looks like one of the most dangerous wildcard teams in recent memory, and they will be going into the playoffs on a long winning streak if you look at their remaining schedule. One-man show.
Wow.
This is the furthest down the Kansas City Chiefs have been in quite some time. And here's what I will tell you. They are in a position where, because all of a sudden their previously reliable kicker is missing kicks, the defense, which the one thing it had done well was get after the opposing quarterback, can't create pressures. Their head coach, who I love, is consistently at the end of games taking the ball out of Mahomes' hands to put it at the kicker's feet. If Patrick Mahomes does not play at an A level, anyone can beat them. Now, luckily, he's the greatest player in the history of the sport, so he consistently does play at an A level. However, we must downgrade them because of that. Super Bowl or bust, it's very simple. If either of these teams don't make the Super Bowl, they will feel like their season is a failure, Coach. The Eagles have the best record. The Niners have the best roster. They are both building towards not only the conference championship game, but making the Super Bowl. Coach, I see you wanted to chime in. Go right ahead.
Well, first of all, it doesn't surprise me that any trace of scientific integrity was thrown out the window with your tears over the last 2 years.
Wow.
Now, that's not shocking at all.
Okay,
Right?
first of
We had
all-
to throw 2 years worth of data because you're scientists.
Okay, so a guy
didn't
makes
quite-
one mistake, and we're going to undercut all his work.
Well, you fired him.
I mean, he resigned.
Obviously, you undercut all his work, but I understand it, and it makes
His other
total
proprietary
sense.
algorithms were fine.
Just like this, tears makes total
Okay,
sense.
what's your
How
problem?
is this not Super Bowl or bust for Kansas City? How do you find a way to go, woe is me, because you can't put Kansas City on the top of your chart?
What do you
They've
mean?
been in the Super Bowl. They've lost the Super Bowl. They've been to 2 conference championships. You think you have the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
How is this not Super Bowl or bust for Kansas City? If that's a tier
Okay.
in your new proprietary.
Okay, well, there's no proprietary algorithm for the naming. That's simply done by the brilliance of the chairman emeritus.
That midnight oil you're
and
burning.
so
That's what it's called in
here's
New York.
here's why I was
Midnight
telling you. Super Bowl or bust typically means you made win now moves, or typically means you are having, in the Eagles' case, a shockingly great season you must take advantage of. The Niners have made multiple win now moves, most notably getting Christian McCaffrey. The Eagles don't know when they're going to be this good again with Jalen Hurts. Maybe this is who he is moving forward, or they saw this once upon a time with Carson Wentz and then never came back. I don't think that's going to happen for Jalen. The Chiefs, on the other hand, this year did the opposite. They made future planning moves. They traded away Tyreek Hill. They didn't sign big in free agency. They did long-term planning. So it is not Super Bowl or bust. It is, however, a one-man show. And now we get back to the top of the tiers.
So if they don't win, we have an excuse.
No, listen.
That's what it sounds
I got
like
it.
to me.
Do I need to remind everyone that I am one of, it used to be one of 8,
committee.
one of 7 on the committee. My feelings about the Chiefs cannot supersede the larger group, or else Wilds. Why would we have a committee?
Exactly.
It would just be Nick's tiers. It wouldn't. I have these charcuterie boards every Tuesday at my house. Why? It's not just for me, guys. I don't even like salami. Bengals, they're at the top, and they're just called the favorites now. We had found fancy names for them, and then we decided, you know what? You come back from 17 down. That's not why they got called the favorites. Not it's because they came from 17 down, bro. It's because I was not surprised by it. They were down 17. I was like, yeah, sounds about right. And I had previously only given that respect to the Chiefs. The Bengals have now earned it. They are the favorites. Brew, why do you look like
I'm
you bit
not
into a bad
surprised
broom?
that you have Cincinnati at the top because as coach
They've
said
been at the
earlier,
top the
you're
last few
in
weeks.
awe of Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
The
Okay.
committee, guys.
San Francisco, that's your pick. Okay. Philadelphia, okay. But Kansas City, how in the world? It is a travesty, Nick Wright and the committee,
hands in front of my
that the Buffalo Bills are so low on this list. And who is more of a one-man show than the Buffalo Bills? I mean, you talk about a one-man show.
You've told me all year how
Josh
great their defense
Allen
is.
not only obviously is a great passer, he leads them in rushing.
I don't think that's
Rushing yards and rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
And let me say something that Nick left out in his little spiel of excuses about his Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, coach, has the 3rd best offensive line in football.
By who?
Pro Football Focus.
Okay,
All right.
I don't.
Guess
believe
where
that.
Josh Allen's
I
offensive
don't
line
believe
ranks?
that.
28th.
Okay, well,
28th,
listen, tell
and yet-
Sam
and
Monson,
yet-
Chris Collinsworth, and those folks they're wrong.
28th
Because the Chiefs
and
don't have the
Kansas
best third
City's is
O-line.
third.
Go ahead.
It's much better than Buffalo's, regardless
Okay.
of the algorithm or the website.
So then what?
Algorithm doesn't work.
Oh, Dusty got another
Dusty,
graphic?
let me see the graphic.
Oh.
Despite having one of the worst offensive lines in the league,
They already showed your
showed
graphic, bro.
Did
You
they?
were too busy ranting about the offensive line.
Up there.
Yeah.
We can soon.
all
we
right,
saw it. It
you
was
saw
Josh Allen has done something.
4,530 and 5.
Yeah.
For a while.
4,530 and 5.
Yeah. So what? What is
He's
that
the
supposed
only
to-
player in history to do that.
Okay.
They are a one-man show.
Okay, great.
more
So you
than
want me
your
to-
Chiefs.
you want me
So
to
they should be
downgrade them?
put up there. At least at the lowest they should be is one-man show with Kansas City. Put them side by side since they're gonna face off in the playoffs anyway.
Okay, I don't know if they're going to face off in the playoffs. I hope they do. I hope the Bills handle the Bengals for us because, as Coach mentioned, I'm in awe of the Bengals, and I have no fear whatsoever of the Chiefs. That was a really weird spot by Brew Wilds. I don't really know how to respond.
Because he missed the graphic?
No, because